What's good, people? What is up? What is up? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike,
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow right here all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Or you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see Cassie. Get me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have some thongs or blue, jock straps, something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
All right. I'm coming. I am coming. All right, we ready? Oh, shit. Oh, I need my laptop, don't I? Oh. All right. We're ready. All right. For real this time. Who called me? Somebody called me. I'll call him back later. It'll be all right. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, y'all. What's going on? Let me move this up a little bit. Feel like it dropped some. Anyway, so if y'all haven't noticed, I am kind of preferential to these glasses. Y'all know I got 2 pairs of glasses, new glasses, and I'm kind of preferential to these glasses right here. So just so you know, for those people with bets on which glasses I would like the most, it's these, the green ones. The black ones I like too. Don't get it twisted. I like the black ones, but I'm preferential to these as like everyday glasses. So yeah. So what's going on, y'all? What is going on? We got some things to talk about and discuss. Hey, Diamond Onyx. Hey, Volvo. What's good, Cookie? What's up, everybody? What is going on? What's going on? So, hmm, chicken, get your chicken here. We got the dossier today is quite packed, quite filled with things to talk about here in the dossier. Will I get to all of those things? We'll do the best we can, but I can't make any promises. How are y'all doing today? That is the question of note right now. How are you all doing today? Hey, Morgan. Hey, love. Hey, Nicole Stevens. What's good, boo? What's up, everybody? So, um, yeah. How's your Thursday going? I will be traveling once again tomorrow morning. I'll be going out of town yet again. So I might be able to do a silly Saturday. Haven't figured that out yet, but I might. I'll know better tomorrow. So anyway, so yeah, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Like I said, the dossier is filled with topics and things for us to discuss today. We'll do that with fervency and zeal as only we can over here in this area. Well, I got on my March of 100 hat today. Child, I've been trying to get myself together because later this month I'm going to be marching at alumni band, and I got to get my body. I ain't trying to lose no weight. I'm just trying to get my stamina up, get my wind back underneath me, my legs underneath me. Because going out there and doing all that stuff again, ooh, child, might cost me a few years of my life. So I need to get my house in order. In order. Anyway, so where do we begin? Hmm. So, mm, looking at this, I don't have that many stories. I just got a little bit. We ain't got that many. I just got a little bit, just a little bit. Now that I take a gander at the dossier today, just a wee little bit of stories. Not that many, not too many. I do have a few palette cleansers on deck for y'all. We're just gonna do what we do over here, have fun over here, frolic about, blather about nothing, and get on about. Y'all know really B will be live later. I know I said that we would be doing our Queen Sugar live yesterday. I believe we're gonna be doing that tonight. So yeah, I think we decided on tonight. I mean, it still is damn near unwatchable, but I will say this last episode was probably the best episode of the season so far. Yeah, this past episode was probably the best episode of the season. I ain't saying much. You ain't got a whole lot to match it up against, but I mean, we're comparing. That's what we do around here. Um, yeah. Did y'all enjoy the interview with the vampire review? Hope y'all enjoyed that. I'll put episode 2 out after it comes on television Sunday. So, oh, let me say my last three stories for last. That's if y'all notice the hashtags that were there, those last, I'm gonna save those for last. So Let's go. Let's go. Um. Okay. Let's no. I'll save that for the sugar spike segment. All right. So let's go here. Yeah, that's where we want to go. We want to go there. All right. You think I would have this stuff figured out in order, but it's just a whole bunch of topics and articles and stuff that I need to have. So, yeah, Mason Betha, better known as Mace, has a problem with Puffy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, because Puffy called him a fake passer, and now he said, I might be a fake passer, but I know you owe me $3 million. Let me give you all the details, honey. After seeing the interview he posted on, wait, I'm sorry. The headline says Mace responded to Diddy calling him a fake pastor and saying he owes him $3 million. After seeing the interview, he posted a video on Instagram from TikTok, snickering about the outburst and attributing it to Mace recently denying Diddy the opportunity to join him on stage during his three-headed monster tour with Cameron and Jadakiss. Quote, yo, you see how people act when you don't let them come on stage and give their fake apology so they can promote their little wax song, he said. That was Mace that was saying that. Later, he followed up with another audio post addressing Diddy's comments more specifically and getting personal, citing Diddy's mom, Janice Combs, and saying, everything is in your mother name. How dare this nigga talk about receipts? Let's start with your mother. Nigga, your mother got the receipts. Everything is in your mother name. He also, end quote, he also pointed out how many of the artists who'd be mostly likely to back him up in this argument aren't around anymore to do so. There's a shot. Hey, Tracy Boo. Quote, Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He did. Craig Mack can't give you no receipts. He did. Black Rob can't give you receipts. He did. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about. I'm the only one with the guts to not sign it because I ain't need the money. All money ain't good money. Remember that. End quote. Mace, Mace, Pastor Mace. There are as much as you talk about receipts, there are a whole lot of receipts on you being a fake pastor. There are stories chronicled all over Al Gore's good internet. You can look them up, videos and stories. I just saw one maybe about a week ago where people tell all kinds of stories of how fake and fraudulent your church was. So before you try to talk about receipts and talk about fake and fraudulence and all of this stuff, you kind of are a fake pastor. People tell stories about how they will go up and get in a prayer line after you pray, after you preach or whatever, and you're trying to force people to, act like they was falling out under the unction of the Holy Spirit when really you were pushing them down. Meanwhile, the deacons standing behind the person and on the side of the person whispering in their ear for them to just let go and fall out so that Mace don't get embarrassed. Then after the person don't fall out, You blame it on a person saying, well, maybe you're just not ready to receive what the Lord has to offer. You have to open up. Maybe you're just not ready for deliverance. Maybe, child, a mess. Just a damn mess. Typical church shenanigans. Hey, Monk Chip Boo. We are highlighting people today. Hey, Monk Chip Boo. Hey, Tracy, my love. Hey, everybody, as y'all come in. Listen, now, while I believe you, Mace, when you tell me that P. Diddy owes you $3 million, I absolutely wholeheartedly believe um P. Diddy probably owes you $3 million. He might owe you more than that. He probably owe a whole lot of people a whole lot of something. However, I believe wholeheartedly you're a fake ass passer. There are other stories out there saying that um he would try to coerce and force people to give more money. I mean, but every pastor does that. I mean, just saying. But there were times where there's story. I'm telling you, I've seen these stories. People have chronicled these stories where people would say that they would ask him for prayer, and he would tell them, "Well, how much money are you gonna give up? How much money you gonna donate to the church?" Typical church shenanigans. Hey, Markel. See, Markel, you know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Typical church shenanigans. Shenanigans. Child. I feel a laugh coming in my spirit. And we're trying to swallow this at the same time. Maybe that's the unction of the Holy Spirit that's getting me for saying that Mace is a fake pastor. Ooh, child. Anyway, Mason Betha, ain't nobody by. Now I find it curious that Mace started calling out all of these dead people and saying that conveniently that all of the people who have real receipts on him is dead. Are you implying something, Mace? Are you implying that Diddy is around here offing people, Mace? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, excuse me, y'all. Two things can be true. Mace, you could be a fake ass pastor. P. Diddy can owe you $3 million. Both things can very well be true. Now it is well documented that P. Diddy's that a lot of P. Diddy stuff is in his mom's name. Now, why that is, you'll have to let your mind wander with that. I guess he got skeletons, and if anything shakes down, they can't take it from him because it's all in his mom's name. I don't know. Right, Monkship. I think he does owe a lot of his artists. Well, according to Mace, all of the people who have legit receipts are dead. But he talking about he didn't want to sign it. He got receipts. Where are the receipts, Mace? Where are your receipts, sir? Because I ain't seen no receipt that you done pulled out of your back pocket yet. So now you're just dust in the wind. You just blathering about, bloviating about nothing, girl. You sounding like a jilted church queen, Mace. I hate to break it to you, doll baby, baby doll, dear one, love bug. I hate to Mace it, break it to you, but you sound like a jilted, jaded church queen, Mace. Anyway, hey Cams, my love, my dog, my boo, my husband in my head. No, you ain't missing me drag nobody yet. I got two people that I am gonna drag. See the hashtags. So, Mace, let it go, sweetheart. Both of y'all are just a bunch of jaded and upset queens. You, former hip hop queen, turned church queen, now trying to toe the line between both church and hip hop queen. I mean, you might as well be, who is it, Ty Tribute or one of those other church queens that try to, toe the line between rap, hip hop, and the church. It's just a mess. Just a damn mess. Anyway, I, I have no time for Mace and what he got going on with Diddy. Y'all call me when something of relevance is on the horizon. But like I said, I find it real convenient, Mace, that everybody you mentioned is dead. You mentioned Black Rob, you mentioned Craig Mack, you mentioned Biggie, and you tried to allude to the fact that something maybe P. Diddy got something nefarious going on with his artists that really have real receipts on him. Child. Just both of y'all are a damn mess. Anyway, so those two stories I'll say for our sugar spike moment. Um, okay, so listen. If you live in the greater Los Angeles area, it's not a good time for you to be a rapper. Like if you're a rapper in the greater Los Angeles area, southern SoCal area, whatever, get the hell out of Dodge because you had Nipsey Hustle who got killed. You got the little boy who got killed. What was that, about a month ago? PNB or Rock or whatever his name is. He got killed. Now it's a whole nother Los Angeles rapper that done got killed. Um, some dude named Half Ounce, some rapper named Half Ounce was fatally shot while on the phone with his pregnant wife. Listen, it's not a good time for you to be a rapper in LA. If you're in LA and you are a rapper, just don't tell nobody. Don't let nobody know. Don't go on no Instagrams, don't go on no TikToks, no Facebooks, no Twitters, no nothing, no Snapchat, none of it, honey. It's not worth it, honey. They are taking you, listen, they are taking y'all out of here, okay? If you ain't got the memo yet, you need to get the memo. Baby, they taking y'all out of here. And I'm not, and I know it may sound comedic and so forth. But I am being comedic, but I'm also being real serious. Y'all need to get the hell out of Dodge. Like this shit is getting serious. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell the Los Angeles PD is doing out there. Like, where's the, you know, whatever investigative unit that they should have out there that are investigating all this? Because I'm sure it's not coincidental that all of these rappers in this area that live in the greater Los Angeles area are ending up dead. I mean, nobody's around here checking. Nobody's around here seeing what beefs are going on with all of these gangs and everything. I don't know if it's gang related. I don't know if it's all coincidental and you just coincidentally got individuals getting gunned down in cold blood and happen to be rappers. I don't know. I also don't know if the LAPD even give a damn, because it seems to me they just don't give a shit. And they're like, well, y'all offer yourselves, so might as well go ahead and let y'all finish the job. That's what it seemed like. I mean, I hear you, Morgan. May he rest in peace. I don't know these people. I'm gonna be honest. When Nipsey Hussle died, I had heard his name before, but I couldn't name you not one song of his. The I think it was named PNB Rock guy who died a few weeks ago. I'd never heard of him before in my life. Never even heard of him before in my life. This guy right here, Half Ounce, who died. He's an Inglewood rapper. Um, he was killed. I have no idea who he is. Let me read this to you. According to Fox LA, the 32-year-old legal artist, legal name La, ooh, Latarisha O'Brien. Jesus, Latarisha. That sounds like a girl's name, not a man's name. But I'm gonna let you have it if that's what your mama named you. That's what I'm calling you. Anyway, Latarisha O'Brien was fatally shot Monday night while walking with a friend in Los Angeles' Koreatown. Police say that the two were traveling near New Hampshire Avenue at 11:30 p.m. when a gunman pulled up in a dark SUV and began firing. The outlet reports Half Ounce was on the phone with his pregnant wife at the time of the attack. When authorities arrived at the scene, they reportedly found a man, later identified as Half Ounce, with multiple gunshot wounds outside an apartment building. Police say the suspect was described as a man in his early 30s wearing dark clothes. The gunman is believed to have fled the scene headed southbound in the SUV. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, at least a dozen shots were fired during the incident, although it's unclear if Half Ounce's friend, who also ran from the scene, fired back. they have there have been no arrests in connection with to the fatal shooting, and police have yet to determine a motive. Police say the investigation is in its early stages. Yeah, on and on and on and on. Fox LA reports Half Ounce was on the phone with his pregnant wife at the time of the attack. Half Ounce also worked for UPS while going to school. He leaves behind a wife, two sons, ages 2 years old and 9 months old, as well as an 8-year-old daughter. He and his wife were expected to welcome their fourth child in March. Um, they done set up a GoFundMe page for his funeral expenses. So clearly he wasn't all that popular. He wasn't making. He was still working down to the ups. That's what my uncle called UPS ups. When we used to be waiting for something for UPS, this is way back when I was a little boy, like back late 80s, early 90s. They were like, "You seen the ups truck? The whole truck? The ups truck? The whole truck? What is the ups truck? The ups truck, the brown truck that delivered the packages. UPS ups." I was like, Lord Jesus, keep me to the cross. And even as a little boy, I knew it was UPS. Couldn't tell my uncle that. My uncle called it ups. I said, Lord, help us, God. Help us, Lord. But yeah, condolences to him and his family. Child. So they say, and the article talks about the PNB Rock guy being shot last month, a few weeks ago, September 12th. And then they talked about another rapper named Key Riches who was gunned down in Compton on September 24th. That was like a week and a half ago. Y'all need to get this shit together. What the fuck do y'all got going on down there in LA? This shit is getting serial. This is serial, people. This is serial. This is serial, people. This is real serial. Anyway, if you are a rapper, a wannabe rapper, you don't spit a few bars on somebody's hook or on somebody's feature. You done wrote too good of a poem that might sound like rap. You done did any rhyming in your whole life. You done wrote roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you one too many times. You need to get the hell out of LA because somebody might confuse you for a rapper. Mm-mm. You done took somebody's R&B song and put it to a beat and some lyrics and made it into a rap. I don't know. You just take the some lines from an R&B song. I pray that you'll invest in my happiness. Gonna turn my heart around. If I'm making ground, tell me what is up. Oh God, what is wrong with me? Did I really just try to do that with sitting up in my room? Oh God, this is why people, I promise y'all, moments the fuck like that is why people are not nice to me. Did I really just try to rap the second verse of sitting up in my room? Pray that you invest in my happiness. All it takes is just one simple call on you. Turn my heart around if I'm breaking ground. Pretty baby, please tell me if I'm getting through. Tell me what is up. Oh, see, I need to know. Oh, tell me what. Tell me if I'm far or if I'm getting close. Oh God. I sincerely apologize. Whoo. Mm. I sincerely and thoroughly apologize for that little outburst and that little ditty. I thoroughly apologize. That right there explains why people are not nice to me. Oh dear God. If you're in LA, get the hell out of Dodge if you're a rapper, please. I'm serious though. I'm serious. Get out of Dodge. It's not safe. This shit ain't safe. Lil Ice Cube, Lil Nose Ring, Lil whoever you are, Lil Anal Bead, Lil Dildo, you know, Lil Cialis, whatever your Lil whoever, get out of LA. It's not worth it. They taking y'all out. Speaking of killings in the great state of California, the Golden State, they trying to get y'all. Listen, there's a serial killer in the Stockton area of California. He done killed like 6 people already, and they are calling him a serial killer. Apparently, most of his victims are Latino men. Yeah, most of his victims are Latino men. If you're in the Stockton area, one, travel in pairs at least or within a group. Two, if it's after dark, baby, stay in the house. It ain't even worth it. Three, if you if the trend stays the way it is and you are a Latino male, you might definitely want to take extra precautions because that seems to be the prevailing group of people that he's preying on. So if you are in the Stockton area of California, there is a serial killer. Now they released looks like maybe one of those street cams or whatnot, a camera that might have been either on someone's house or on the street lamp or a street light or something like that. And it's a tall man who seems kind of slender, tall, and is usually wearing all black. So I expect there to be an exodus from the great state of California in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just get out of California altogether. Just get out of there. There were 6 homicide victims right now. Their names are Juan Vasquez Serrano, Paul Yaw, Salvador Debuty Jr., Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez, Juan Cruz, and Lawrence Lopez Sr. So you would think that they have enough surveillance footage and cameras in most major cities. We found out, and this was proven maybe about 10 years ago, where they could literally follow you from the time you exit your door until the time you go back in your home. You can be surveilled or followed on camera from the time you exit your door in most major cities until the time you re-enter your door to go home. I'm serious. And so, with all of that technology and all of that surveillance, you think they would have some image or sketch or something of the guy? Whatever happened to those people? Whatever happened to the people who were sketch artists? The people who used to draw the images of back, they don't do that as much now, but back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, that was like one of the only ways that they would have to go about finding people. They would, have a sketch drawing of the person based on what the victim said they looked like, and they will put those drawings on TV and say, "If you've seen this guy," and it would be real crude and archaic drawings, looking like some shit that they done drew on a goddamn cave wall or some shit. But that's what we had to go by back in the day. I'm serious. That's what we had. You use what you had, and they did find people based on that. I'm just saying. I guess that job description is no longer needed. But if you're in the greater Los Angeles area, get out of Dodge. What's up, Jason? Shondo, sir. All right, it's time for some palette. I haven't put up any palette cleansers, have I? Sorry. There's a palette cleanser. That's for those of us. He's for those of us here in the Rainbow Coalition. We'll take him over here in the Rainbow Coalition. I don't know that he plays for the other side, but he does. He has the whole section over here in the Rainbow Coalition compound. Here's another one. I don't like the blonde hair on him. I feel like he looks better without the blonde hair. But that beach looks beautiful. That water at the beach looks beautiful. Just beautiful. And it's clear water too. You see all the way down with his legs. And there's another one. I wanted to leave him up there a little while longer for y'all. There y'all go. There you go. There you go. All right. Is it honey sauce time? Well, Jason, you being a moderator, I'll let you. You know what? Since Jason wants the sugar spike moment, let's go ahead. I will oblige you, Jason. Let's get our sugar spike moment out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary, gender-conforming members of the audience, it is now time for our favorite segment of the show, our sugar spike segment.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Get your honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my chicken wings. Get none of that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes on my chicken wings. Take us out, Moose.
Taste the biscuit.
Holy Ghost will tell you, don't win at the church. You can win at the beach.
Mama, Jesus!
I wish somebody help me.
Jesus! Taste the biscuits. Now, for those of you waiting for me to drag somebody, we will be dragging at one of my people in the hashtags during this sugar spike segment. Okay, just letting you know now. We'll start the sugar spike segment. So yes, Cams, I will be dragging someone during this sugar spike segment. So the first sugar spike moment is the United Nations is reporting systemic racism in Switzerland, even from young ages, where they reported that in Switzerland there's a common game among Swiss children called, quote, "Who's afraid of the black man?" End quote. That is the name of the game. Who's afraid of the black man? Now, the UN reports goes on to not only report on that game or and whatnot that starts. I mean, they talk about children as young as 3 and 4 years old being introduced to this game. So that is a pattern of systemic racism that starts from a very early age with the children in that country. They go on to talk about how there's a whole area in the country called Vaud Canton where there's terrible police abuse against anyone of African descent. Anyone with an extra kink in your hair, extra twist or curl in that hair, where they know that there's some African descent. Remember, in the Nordic region, they are known and heralded for um, for the purity of the white race, where they're more known for the blonde hair in that part of the world. Blonde hair, blue eyes. That's much more widely spread out genetically in that area. And so anything that they deem to be of African descent, right, right, Camps. Um, Child Morgan, but anything of African descent, they tend to have a problem with. And so, but that region of Switzerland called the Vaud Canton is very well known for not only police abuse, but numerous deaths among people of African descent in that area. We hear a lot about it in America because we know we have our own problem with systemic racism and with death by police um, on black people. But it's interesting to note that it's Switzerland who often has the stereotype of being neutral. You know, people often use the adage, "Oh, I'm going to be Switzerland in this situation. I'm neutral." But when we finding out Switzerland ain't so neutral, they're just as racist, if not even more racist than a whole lot of other countries and a whole lot of other areas. I'm not surprised because when you have a whole region of the world where they celebrate and expect people to be platinum blonde haired and blue eyed, what do you expect? Or who the fuck am I? So there's also they tried to there was a campaign to um to inform the public and get rid of a statue of someone in Swiss history that they the statue of a banker in the Neuchâtel canton and removed that statue because he made all of his money from the exploitation of enslaved Africans. And they wanted to there was this campaign that was put out to inform Swiss people of who he was, how he made his money on the backs of enslaved Africans and have his statue removed, the Swiss people would have no parts of it. So even even the ambassador for Switzerland to the UN in Geneva agreed that there is a major problem with regard to racial discrimination in Switzerland. He even agreed. Um, so yeah, so yeah. Listen, Switzerland ain't so neutral anymore. They just ain't. I don't know that they've ever been neutral, but you know, white people like to like to celebrate themselves and the purity of their own people, but they ain't so neutral over there. Okay. All right. Here's a palate cleanser. I've been neglecting my palate cleansers. There you go. All right. So this is a good news and bad news simultaneously story. So police in Minnesota had charged a woman for recording them holding a black man at gunpoint. Now they owe her because she won a judgment in court. Let me get this story to you. A woman charged with a misdemeanor for recording Minnesota police officers holding two black men at gunpoint settled her federal lawsuit against the city for $70,000. That's $70,000, according to the Star Tribune. In addition to monetary compensation, the city also agreed to policy reform within the police department. Arizona recently attempted to make recording police officer encounters illegal, but they surely weren't the first to try. Some of these restrictions don't look like laws, but instead a misdemeanor. Took Take Amy Koopman for example. Koopman, a white woman, went on Facebook Live in 2018 to record an interaction between Robbinsdale police and two black men. Only she was only one of many people who recorded who I'm sorry, let me read that again. She was one of only many people who crowded around the intersection, waiting anxiously to see if the police would fire at the two as their guns were drawn. Three squad cars with three officers out of their cars, guns drawn on what I could see at the time was one black man, because what was in my mind was Philando Castile. That's what the white woman said. Hey, Jay Parrish. Hey, MVN. Koopman talked to the officers from a distance, and after she put her phone away, they charged her with obstructing the legal process. Her charges were later dropped by a Hennepin County judge, and it goes on and on. She sued them in federal court, saying, "How dare you tell me?" Now, here's the thing. This white woman got off. How do y'all feel had she been a black woman? What do y'all think would happen? Well, I'm glad she won this lawsuit, and they're going to have policy reform on how they deal with people videotaping at crime scenes or at situations where police are conducting arrests or whatnot. I just wonder how this would have gone had this white woman been a black woman. I'm just asking. Now she gonna get her 70K. She gonna spend her 70K and make it happen. But y'all know as well as I do. If that were a black woman, that wouldn't have went like that. It absolutely wouldn't have went like that. I mean, let's be clear. Without video recordings in modern times, a lot of things that are happening with regard to police would not come see the light of day. And that's why I tell people it's not that these things were not happening. And I would venture to argue they were probably happening at a greater frequency than they happen right now. However, with the onset of video cameras and mechanisms and methods with which people can record police officers in their wrongdoing, we're able to see it more often, and especially now with body cams. I saw a video today, and I'll probably talk about it on the next politics of it all, where there's body cam footage of a police officer in San Antonio, Texas, who and you could hear him say it on the body cam footage as he was talking to the 911 operator that he saw a car that he believed was a car that evaded him a couple days ago. Not that the person in that car was doing anything at that moment. Not that the person in that car had broken any laws, but he said that's the car that got away from me a few days ago. So his ego was hurt, and he felt disrespected. So what he decided he was going to do is take the law into his own hands. He goes up to the car, opens the door of the car. There's a 17-year-old Hispanic male in the car with his girlfriend in the passenger seat. And he says, "Get out of the car." He don't have no reason to stop this. The car was literally parked outside of a goddamn McDonald's. Wasn't doing anything wrong. But he felt disrespected from a few days earlier. Went to the car, opens the driver's door, just opens the driver's door, tells them to get out of the car. The Hispanic young man put that car in reverse and started to get the hell out of Dodge. Yep, he bumped the police officer, sure did, with his car, closed the door, and drove off. The police officer pulled out his gun and unloaded about 12 to 15 rounds into the driver's seat. Fortunately, the young man is not dead, but he's clinging on to life. The police officer has been fired. Okay, the police officer has since been fired because he was within his 1 year probationary period after leaving the academy. He was only 7 months on the job. This is why y'all can't. And so he's been fired. They're doing a full investigation. The young man is clinging on to life. He's not dead yet, but he's clinging to life because he had several gunshot wounds to him. Excuse me. But this is why we have to do better about policing. Y'all know I say this all of the time. There needs to be a complete and total overhaul of the criminal justice system and law enforcement in these yet to be United States of America. So that story, let me give you another. That's that story. That woman won some money. She got paid. Let me give y'all another palate cleanser. Cleanse our palate while I pull up my next story. Mm. All right. Now, oh, we're not on the politics of it all. Wrong segment. There we go. Y'all see I'm eating my candy, right? This is my sugar spiking segment. I'm gonna do the best I can right now, not to lose my goddamn mind. I'm not gonna even read the title. I'm just gonna read the article. If you're a member, can you put some sugar spikes emojis in there? Because I'm gonna spike out. I feel myself. Before I even read the article, I can tell you right now, I'm gonna spike the fuck out. Let me read this article. During his visit to the Breakfast Club to promote his new book, The Book of Jose, the Bronx rapper addressed the criticism he faced throughout the years for including the word for including the N-word in his music despite the fact that he is not black. This is talking about Fat Joe, okay? This article is about Fat Joe. So let me start it again. During his visit to the Breakfast Club to promote his new book, The Book of Jose, the Bronx rapper addressed the criticism he has faced throughout the years for including the N word in his music, despite the fact that he is not black. Joe, who is of Puerto Rican and Cuban descent, explained that he started using the controversial slang because he grew up mostly around black people. Quote, first of all, my projects is 90%, I'll give you 80% black still. My grandmother's projects is 99.9% black to be clear. So I'm Spanish. I knew I was Latino, but the whole time I thought I was black anyway. So my mom lived there 40 years before I was born in this project, and I'm born blonde haired, green eyes. That shit's crazy, right? She brings me there. The first thing they go, oh, look at this little nigga, Joey. He got green eyes. The minute I'm walking, the guys in the building is like, yo, look at this little nigga, Joe, little fat Joe. That's all I knew my whole life before even elementary. End quote. But Joe has come under fire in recent years, which he attributes to society's wokeness. Let me read that sentence again for you all in the back. But Joe has come under fire in recent years, which he attributes to society's wokeness. Quote, it's a lot of woke society or something going on these days, and Twitter and all that. I guess they don't understand where I come from, where I was born, or how I was raised, or how I lived my whole entire life. We used it as love, but we know that the record states that it is a negative word. End quote. He admits that he admits that he's been trying to curb his use of the offensive term. Quote, I wish we never used it. I try my best to try to not to try to not use it. It's hard, bro. Seriously, I've been trying to stop, but I've been saying this since I was born. End quote. However, he won't let social media dictate what he does or says. Quote, no one's going to pressure Fat Joe into feeling or saying anything that he loves or believes in. No one's ever going to do that. You get one life, and ain't nobody going to tell me what to say, tell me what to do, tell me what to think. I just think that everybody's too sensitive. You need to judge a person by who their character truly is, who they really are, who they represent. End quote. He also talked about the use of the word bitch. He went on to say, finally, I've been a mutt my whole career. I've been too black for some Spanish people and been too Spanish for some black people. It's the weirdest thing, but I've been able to navigate through it. End quote. Y'all know what I mean when I do this, right? What do you want me to do with that? What the hell do you want me to do with that? You got a lot of goddamn nerve. First of all, when you even acknowledge that you knew historically that it was a negative term. See, this is the shit that pisses me the fuck off. You got bastards like a Fat Joe who's over here profiting off of the use of language and terms that has been the death and murder of millions of our people. You got somebody who wants to enjoy all of the perks and all of the grandiose things that comes with being able to use that word, because in his own estimation, in his own little imaginary world in his head, he's black, but wants no parts of that if it means the negative connotation that goes along with that. If he could utilize, because I guarantee you, you see how he talked about, oh, I'm too black for the Spanish people and too Spanish for the black people. I guarantee you, when the time comes where they're putting the black people versus Hispanics and saying, we'll take you Hispanics and not you blacks, and we'll kill you blacks and not you Hispanics, you'll real quickly say that you're Hispanic and Latino. Real quick. When the shit goes south, will you quickly remove all instances of the N-word? You can't have it both ways. I don't give a shit how many projects your mama and grandmammy lived in. I don't give a shit. Who the fuck are you? See, this is the bullshit that I be talking about. This is why I've never been a Fat Joe fan. And this is why I've never been a Cardi B fan. It's these people, and I know that's going to piss some people off, and I know some people feel some kind of way, but I'm not a fan of these people who only want to see all of the positive things, all of the good side. Oh, let me use the N-word, but I don't want the N-word if it's going to come from some racist white cop who's pointed a gun barrel in my fucking head and could blow me off the goddamn earth. They don't want no parts of it there. And I noticed a lot of Hispanic people, especially Spanish people, Spanish and Latino people, they want to align themselves under the arcade umbrella of POC, people of color, when it's advantageous to them. But then when it's a situation where it only affects us black people and we're having to take the lion's share and the brunt of all of the all of the attack and everything, then they're like, oh, that's y'all issue, not us. When people are throwing around the N-word with the hard ER, then you looking at the black people like, ooh, why y'all gonna let them talk about y'all like that? I wouldn't take that. Because you notice, see, here's the thing. Here's the fuck shit of it all. Because see, they want to use the N-word when it's popular, but then if you're in a group, I always notice when they're in a group of those very same black people, and there's a white person using that N-word with the hard ER, then those same Latino people, Latinx people, turn to the black people and be like, oh, y'all gonna let him say that to y'all? Y'all gonna let them talk to y'all about that? But wait a minute. I thought you wanted to use the term. I thought you wanted to embrace. I thought you were black too. But now all of a sudden, we black and you're not a part of this. See, this is the fuck shit that I'm talking about. And I come from Miami. And I know good and hell well that his Latinx people can be just as racist as their white counterparts. If you, a lot of Latinx people who are white presenting and who can speak good enough English and can look the part and can assimilate themselves enough to where they feel and look and present themselves as if they're white will take on that white privilege just as fast as any white person and throw all our asses to the goddamn side. You ain't shit, Fat Joe. And I don't give a shit how many fucking black people you grew up around. I don't give a fuck how many black people you know. I don't give a fuck how many black people give you that pass. You and all of these other non-black people that are in the goddamn rap industry, y'all have no business using that word, that term. It's not known. Absolutely not. I grew up around black people. Well, so did a lot of white people. Fuck you and fuck them if they think that it's okay for them to use the N word, because you cannot. See, I can speak to this from a lot of different angles, because even if I equate it to the use of the F bomb with us LGBTQ people, there's a whole lot of people. What if straight people started to say, oh, I grew up around gay people? Some of my best friends are gay. Oh my God, I got a cousin, my cousin gay, my brother gay. I got my 4 or 5 gay friends. So that gives me the right to use the F bomb. Because I can just throw that term around because I grew up, I might not be gay. I'm not gay. But I grew up around enough of them where I learned the word and can assimilate and use that term. You would look at crazy, right? Y'all would look at that person like they lost their goddamn minds. You would look at the person like they're fucking certifiable. But then y'all have no problem. Y'all don't bat a fucking eye when fucking idiots like the Fat Joes and Cardi B's and other morons of the world use that same rationale to say, oh, I grew up around a lot of black people, so that means that I could use the N word with complete autonomy. Nobody can tell. Because then he had the nerve to double down on it and say, oh, it's all because of wokeness of today. And it's because people are woke. And it's because, the people, they ain't going to tell me what to do. I ain't going to let social media dictate to me what I can and cannot say and what I can or cannot do. So what you're saying, sir, is that societal norms and us progressing as a society is not enough to urge you to do the right thing. And if we took that fucking rationale, we would still be enslaved. We would still be in shackles. We would still be on plantations working for nothing as slaves. Because it's not until people do start to, as you call it, become woke and realize that the things that they have done throughout history is wrong. It's not until people get aware that the things and practices and customs that they had were absolutely atrocious and heinous and horrible, and they needed to put them to a fucking end. But let you tell it. Can't nobody tell you what to do. Fuck you. I just wonder if you grew up around a bunch of gay people and happen to be straight, if you would be so pleased and pleasured about being called a little F bomb by them and by being called the little sissy by them. And if you would embrace that and use that as a and see that as a badge of honor. I just want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, since that's your whole fucking rationale. That sums up my whole point, Monk Chip. Thank you, Jason. You don't see them using all of the Hispanic derogatory terms. You don't hear them using the WB word. You don't hear them using the SP word. You don't hear them using none of that in their rap music. But they love to use derogatory terms that white people use for us. They have no problem with it then. If y'all And it's a whole lot of people that defend them for using it, that tell them that the shit is okay. Oh, it's okay. They grew up around black people. So if I grew up around a bunch of Hispanic people, you tell me I could call people the word that starts with SP. You tell me I could use the two two syllable word W that starts with the W, has a B in the middle and ends with a K. I could use that term if I grew up around a bunch of Hispanic people or Latino people. I'm just asking. You got a lot of fucking nerve, Fat Joe. You got a lot of fucking nerve. I do not like you or respect you enough to even give to even try. First of all, even if I did like or respect you, I wouldn't give you a pass. But I damn sure don't like you, your music, or respect you enough to even justify even trying to listen to your insane and insidious argument. Are you kidding me? Listen, it's I've always said of all of these terms, okay, you cannot turn a derogatory term into a term of endearment unless you can understand and feel the full brunt of it, feel the full teeth of it on both the negative side as well as the positive side. If you cannot wear it both negatively and positively, you do not deserve the right to turn it into a term of endearment. Period. Full stop. Hey, Fran J. Remember when Kendrick Lamar, I think a year or two ago, I think it was either before the pandemic, I think this was before the pandemic, had a concert and invited the white girl on stage during his concert, and she started and he gave her the mic to finish the song, and conveniently there was an N-word in the middle of the song, and she sure said the N-word just as loudly and proudly as everybody else. Child. This is what we're dealing with. You ain't shit, Fat Joe. Your fat, funky ass need to go sit the fuck down somewhere and find you a little hole to crawl up in. Fat Joe, you haven't been relevant in the music industry in about 20 goddamn years. Go find a fuck for somebody to give about you, okay? I want you to go and start strip searching mice and rats in the Bronx where you grew up in to go find a fuck for people to give about you. Nobody cares about you. You're a whole ass clown. And nobody cares about the tears of a clown when no one's around. You're a fucking train wreck. You're a fucking train wreck. And you want to talk about us being woke and all of that stuff. Clearly, we ain't woke enough because they're still giving you platforms with which to spew your idiocy, your venom, vitriol, and idiocy. Child, Fat Joe ain't leaning back too far because if his big ass lean back too far, he's hitting the goddamn floor. Let's just be clear. Hey, Danny. He did. But at that point, it was too late. Jason, the tube was already out. Toothpaste was already out of the tube. I hear you, Morgan. I hear you. But it really angers me when you hear these Latinx rappers that have assimilated. I'm not going to say there's cultural misappropriation. I ain't going to go down that road because that's a whole nother argument and a whole nother road that I can go down with cultural appropriation. I ain't going to go down that road. But it's real rich for y'all to go around just lazily and happily using the N word. But if a rapper that was black used derogatory and racial epithets dealing with Latinx people, you and the entirety of the Latinx community will lose your goddamn minds. You ain't shit, Fat Joe. And the fact that your stank, nasty ass tried to sit your big ass up there and fucking tell us that we ain't gonna tell you and social media ain't gonna tell you what and what not to say. Really? Really? The problem is you, Fat Joe. The problem is you and not us. He's a problem. He's a whole ass problem. Like that shit pissed me off. That's what I was saying, Fran. So clearly it's okay for us to use that term, right? That they use for Mexicans. It's okay for us to use the word that starts with SP, right? It's okay for us to use all of the epithets that white people have given to his Hispanic and Latinx people over the annals of time. Since it's okay for you to use the N word, it's okay for us to go down that road with you, right? And what also angers me is that black people allow for these things. They go and they buy this music, they celebrate these people, they give these people awards, they tell them that it's okay. Oh yeah, you can use it, I give you a pass. Fuck you and the person who told you you can get a goddamn pass. Cause there ain't no goddamn pass that you can get. You can get a fucking pass. There's no one singular individual that can give you a pass to use the goddamn N-word. You raggedy ass piece of shit. There's no singular person or group of persons that are going to give you a pass with which you can go and just haphazardly just use that word as if it's okay. Hell, we don't like when black people use it at times. We damn sure not here for you, who's not even black, to use it. You can kiss the fattest part of our asshole. You can kiss the pinkest and fattest part of our asshole. Which explains why there's no relevance to you in the last 20 years. You haven't been relevant. And I might not give you 20, but I know 15. You have not been relevant in the last 15 years. Let's be clear. You're only relevant because of Big Pun, who's dead. Listen, no one, no one, no one cares if and when, Fat Joe, you end up broke and destitute. Nobody's gonna care. Because let's be clear, the music industry ain't fair. And if you ain't constantly putting out music like that, listen, your music ain't being played on radio stations across America where you getting them kind of royalty checks. Sorry, boo boo. You ain't got that many songs and you ain't got that many hits for you to be making a living like you living the life of Riley. You're not. So go somewhere, crawl in your little goddamn corner and die slowly. Let me see what y'all saying. Lord. Oh, I saw that one. No N word or F word if you need them to win a read. Then you read. It is very correct. I'm at when we use that. I don't read all. I didn't read all these books to be right. Right. Exactly. You cannot have a pass for a road you have not had to travel. Thank you, Fran J. Thank you. That is the that is the comment of the day. Thank you. You cannot have a pass for a road you have not had to travel. Thank you, Fran J, for our comment of the day. I have corrected someone who thought they had a pass. Shut the whole party. Right. Shut the whole party down to deal with it. Exactly. Clearly. She spoke a word, didn't she? I don't care if it's white is the blackest of blacks ever, straight out of the motherland, out of the Horn of Africa, where the entirety of our species emanates from. That still doesn't give you a pass or a reason to use it. Child. It is a lack of respect, Monk Chip. It absolutely is a lack of respect. And with that, I need a palate cleanser. Let's have a palate cleanser or two. Where are we with the palate cleansers? Did we do him? I don't think we did him. There you go. Fat Joe about to make me lose my goddamn mind. About to make me lose my goddamn mind. Here's another palate cleanser. And here's another one. Before I have to drag somebody. I know I'm gonna drag somebody. I got one more person at least to drag before we end this whole live today. God of mercy, God of love, rain on us from heaven above. All right. Speaking of people losing their goddamn minds, making all types of asinine statement. One of a member of the cockroach nation of these yet to be United States of America, Kodak Black. In the wake of the BET Hip Hop Awards, he decided that it was a good idea to call Lotto, quote, a hating ass mutt, end quote, after she won Song of the Year over him. Let me say that again. Because she won an award and you did not, Kodak Black, one of our cockroaches that need to be exterminated here in these yet to be United States of America. You thought it was okay for you to call this woman, quote, a hating ass mutt, end quote. What do y'all want me to do with that? Let me read this story for y'all. Kodak Black is calling out BET for awarding Lotto's Big Energy Song of the Year at the 2022 BET Hip Hop Awards. This year's BET Hip Hop Awards were clearly eventful. We saw the long awaited reunion of Clips. BET paid tribute to one of the underrated greatest labels in history, the Glorilla. And Glorilla completed her jaw-dropping 2022 with a Breakthrough Artist Award. However, the show wasn't without its controversy. While Lotto's win for Song of the Year didn't come as a surprise for most people, after all, Big Energy and its Mariah Carey featuring remix were pretty much ubiquitous throughout the summer. One viewer couldn't accept the result and let the world know how he felt about it. Kodak Black, who was also up for Song of the Year for his 2021 single Super Gremlin, gave a frankly gross response to Lotto's win, calling her, quote, a hating ass mutt, end quote, and attributing the win to her gender rather than the fact that it was an absolute unequivocal fan favorite. Quote, the woman empowerment shit cool. Don't take none from nobody, but you still gotta work for it. Don't just simply give it to somebody because they a woman. If that's the case, y'all should have gave Song of the Year to Glorilla, not that hating ass mutt. End quote. That's Kodak Black if you need him. He continued to name other examples of songs that should have won in his mind, trying to deflect accusations of sour grapes. And it goes on and on and on. Hey, Pinky Tiki. Hey, Really B, what's good, sis? Fran J, absolutely. He's a hating ass cockroach. If she, in your estimation, Kodak Black is a hating ass mutt, you're a hating ass cockroach that needs to be exterminated. The travesty of the criminal justice system, he's calling Lotto a hating ass mutt. The travesty of the criminal justice system is the fact that Kodak Black is free and walking about and allowed to spew this type of venom and vitriol across the fruited plains. Kodak Black, I really could drag the fuck out of you right now. Like I just had to drag the shit out of Fat Joe. Like I just had to excuse me, Fat Joe's stank nasty ass. But I'm saving this last drag for somebody else. Nobody cares about you, Kodak Black. I keep saying nobody cares about the tears of a clown when there's no one around. I'm just saying. Why is Kodak Black out roaming the streets? Is my question. Why are you here? Like, why are you here? Nobody wants roaches around. I don't know a single person. I'm not saying that they aren't out there, but I can't tell you a single person that wants a roach around. Speaking on behalf of the delegation of people from Southern Florida, Southeast Florida to be exact, we hear of the delegation born and raised in Southeastern Florida vehemently, vehemently disassociate ourselves with anything about or related to one Mr. Kodak Black. We do not claim him. We do not associate with him. We disavow ourselves of anything involving him or surrounding him and his level bred of fuckery. In our estimation, he should still be locked up some goddamn where in a dark ass dungeon, never to see the goddamn light of day. Like, I don't understand how he's even out and about roaming the streets. Hey, the ghetto view, boo. What's good, boo? I'm over here just skull dragging people today. I don't know. People have the people have collectively gotten on my goddamn nerves today. Fat Joe did it. I had to drag him a few minutes ago. Now you got Kodak Black that's doing fucking that's doing the Sambo shuffle on my last good nerve, that has squatters rights on my last nerve, and is about to get this good work. But I'm trying so hard to save this last drag for somebody who's gonna get this last drag. Please be clear. I'm saving this last good dragon and skull drag for this last person. But let's be clear. America's cockroach, Kodak Black. I got a bottle of Raid that can take care of you. I'm just saying. Kodak Black, do I need to take you back to when you was probably a little boy and go back to calling you Zo Boy? See, see Kodak Black. See, I can't handle you like somebody in the rest of America. See, I'm from South Florida, like you are. Okay, you grew up in Pompano. I grew up in Dade County, Liberty City, and from where I come from, you a goddamn Zo Boy. Okay, you a goddamn Zo Boy. Sit your Zo ass down somewhere and shut the fuck up. Nunc parle creole over here. Okay? You better go sit down somewhere and wear your football tube socks with your church shoes. With your church shoes. Your white football socks with your church shoes and your church pants and your church shirt that you had to wear going to elementary school, and you was called Zo Boy. He gives me, and see, I'm from Miami where I know the real because I hung around and I know a lot of Haitians. He's one of the Haitian people that even the Haitian people call Zo Boy. You know you a real Zo when the Haitian people call you Zo Boy. You better go and sit the fuck down somewhere, Kodak Black, or I have to drag you in. You better go sit the fuck down somewhere, Kodak Black. But, ooh, resist the urge to dog walk him, El Teddy. Do not dog walk that young man. Because I got some drags and some reeds in my head, Kodak Black, because I could dog walk you right now. But I could lay you all the way the fuck out, Kodak Black. I could dog walk the fuck out of you. But we ain't gonna do that. We gonna keep it cute. We gonna keep it the fuck cute. We gonna keep it the fuck cute. Like, right? Why is he a thing? Like, why is he even popular? Y'all, y'all better get him. Y'all better get him. let me give y'all a palate cleanser and get off of this moment. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that ends our very favorite segment of the show, our sugar spike segment.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Get your honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my chicken wings. Get none of that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes on my chicken wings. Take us out, Moose.
Taste the biscuit.
Holy Ghost will tell you, don't wait on the church. We can win it.
Call my mama
Get rid of it.
Jesus!
I wish somebody help me.
Jesus! Taste the biscuit. That is our sugar spike segment of the day. Whew. I'm sorry. I knew I was going to drag somebody during that segment, and Fat Joe had to get drugged. He had to get this good work, because I'm not here for you, Fat Joe. Baby, you earned that one today, Fat Joe. You earned all of that one. You got a lot of fucking nerve, Fat Joe. Anyway, moving on. Omar Epps was interviewed recently, and in his interview, they asked him about the film Juice, one of his early films. If you remember, he was in that film with Tupac and everything. And so he revealed that he and cast members were given the freedom to improvise because the script was dated, and says that the infamous locker scene with Tupac was off the cuff of their heads. So he said that him and Tupac improvised the whole thing. That's, in Juice, there's two scenes. There's a scene on the rooftop, and there's the scene at the locker room. Remember when they was in the locker room, that's when Tupac was like, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Raheem. I don't give a fuck about Steel. I don't even give a fuck about myself. Remember that scene where Omar Epps finally went back to school after a few days and couldn't get the locker open? He finally opens the locker. He's in his locker. And my whole time watching the movie, I was like, how did he not see Bishop stroll up on the side of his locker? Like, that locker wasn't that big where you couldn't have seen him roll up on you on that locker. But sure enough, he closed the door to that locker, and who's waiting right there? Fucking Bishop. I was like, God damn it. That was after Bishop had to pull the gun on him and shit. Child. The little kiddos may not know about the movie Juice. Those of us of a certain age, we know the movie Juice, okay? That was when Tupac still had hair. I always listen. Now, if you tell me that whole scene was improvised, that was brilliant improvisation. Because I've always said there's two versions of Tupac. There's the Tupac before the movie Juice, and then there's Tupac after the movie Juice. I've always maintained that. Because to me, Tupac tried to embody that role. Like, he literally transformed into that role. If you look at Tupac before the movie Juice, he wasn't thugged out and all of that stuff like that. Matter of fact, you could go and look up old videos of Tupac when he first started to try to rap, when he used to be in bikini draws and shit like that, and trying to be a pretty boy and things like that on stage and stuff like that. Like, he wasn't no thugged out hardcore. He was in the movie Juice, and I feel like he literally transformed into that role. So I feel like if Omar Epps is telling me that whole scene, which is a classic quintessence, that is a classic scene in that goddamn movie Juice. Everybody remember that scene when Omar Epps went back to school and got that locker open, was in that locker, closed that locker door, and baby, who was waiting right there for him? Bishop. Um, I wholeheartedly, I can believe that they probably did improvise that whole thing. If they did, brilliant improvisation. Absolutely brilliant improvisation if they did. So, yeah, but I was here for it. I was here for all of it. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think it was completely let me give you the exact quote. He says, "My forever best lesson was the experience of filming Juice, my first film. The script for Juice was written 10 years before we did it. So all of the verbiage and slang was way different from dudes in the 80s and 70s. Like, hey sucker." We was like, nah. And Ernest Dickerson, the director, was dope, and he was like, and he was just like, you know what you needs to be, you know what needs to be said. Just say it the way you would say it. So, so we basically, me and Pac freestyled the whole movie. So all these great moments, even with Pac, the great locker moment and all that, this was off the top. One of us would sort of anchor it back to the beats, back to the beats. Like, I'm going to say this, and it's like, okay, yeah. So end quote. So right, Digital Underground Tupac was very different, and that's why I'm saying it. To me, is Tupac before the movie Juice and Tupac after the movie Juice. Because you can't tell me Tupac did not just morph into being Bishop. Forever after that movie Juice, you could only really see Tupac as being Bishop from Juice. So I mean, but great actors, you find out they literally, when they say they become that role, they literally have to do that. They literally have to live and breathe and embody that character, and they become that role. So I can believe that. And sometimes you learn that when what's his face played the Joker, who died, well, I can't think of this man's name. Brokeback Mountain dude that played the Joker. He couldn't come up out of being the Joker and ended up unaliving himself. You hear that so many times. There are some roles that actors take on that in the process of becoming that character, they literally can't come from out of it. It's a life-changing experience. But yeah, so I found that interesting. I thought that I would bring that to y'all on this good day. I ain't gave y'all a palate cleanser yet. It's a palate cleanser. Gave y'all a palate cleanser in a while. Where we at with our palate cleansers? Did we do him? I think we did. We ain't did him yet. This where we at on our palate cleansers. There's a palate cleanser. Here's another palate cleanser. There's another palate cleanser for you. All right. There we go. So the dude, Rich Boy, famous for Heath Ledger. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Tracy. Heath Ledger. Thank you. The dude, famous for that old song from back in the day. I think it was like '05 or '06. Throw some D's on that bitch. Just bought a Cadillac. Throw some D's on that bitch. Remember that song? Well, he done got arrested apparently for domestic violence after an alleged fight with his parents of all people. Now, it makes sense because he probably lives in his parents' basement. He only had one real song. He ain't did a goddamn thing since that song. I can't name you no other song that he done came up with except for throw some D's on that bitch. So me believing that he even has two nickels to rub up against each other is a stretch. So I could believe that. And looking at the mug shot, he looks a goddamn mess. So he looks very unkempt. He looks like somebody who ain't did shit and who's living off of their mom and dad in the goddamn basement, watching porn 12 hours a day, jacking off 5 times a day, and then smoking weed in between the times that he jacks off. Anyway, so a rich boy has reportedly been arrested after allegedly getting into a fight with his parents. The Alabama rapper, most well known for his 2006 hit "Throw Some D's," featuring Polo the Don, was booked into the Mobile jail last Friday, September 30th, according to local news outlets. Rich Boy was arrested on two charges of third-degree domestic violence, with one specifying harassment and the other concerning assault, the news outlets reported. According to ABC 15 News, the arrest came as a result of an altercation with his own parents. That's basically the whole story. Listen, I'm sure when you go to jail, there'll be no shortage of men waiting to throw some D's on that bitch. You know what D's I'm talking about. You around here fighting your parents, rich boy? Don't worry. When you go to jail, there's going to be no shortage of men ready to throw some D's on that bitch. Let me know how that works out for you, boo. Oh, let me know how that works out for you. Dear God. Here's another palate cleanser. We're not throwing any more D's on that bitch. Here's another palate cleanser. So, yeah, I think I'm left with these last two stories. Let me make sure I ain't missing nothing else. Yep. Like I said, don't forget I believe we're gonna be live tonight on Really Beach channel to do our Queen Sugar review. Queen Sugar panel, I should say. So look out for that. All right. Child, child, this the first time I even heard of Mobile, I messed around and called it mobile. And they were like, this ain't no mobile, this is mobile. I was like, okay, the name is Mobile. That's mobile. It's mobile. After that, I ain't give up no more argument. That's just like the people who call the city Baltimore, as if there's a D in the middle of the word instead of a T in the middle of the word. It's Baltimore. But you go to Baltimore and they say it's Baltimore, as if there's a D in the middle of the word. I can't tell the people that grew up, were born and raised there, what to call it. I can't tell these people that. I just let them live and let them have it, honey. Here come time with this fuck shit and fuckery. Let's drift down. I'm not paying Ty no mind. Y'all, I'm not paying him no mind. I'm not saying hi to him. I ain't paying him no mind. I'm giving him no more time, effort, and or energy. Let's drift down to the great city of New Orleans, Louisiana. So the mayor of New Orleans, Louisiana, is going to repay $30,000 in excess travel expenses to the city. Here y'all go with Ty. Y'all, everybody is Team Ty, Team Ty, Team Ty. I'm over here doing all of the heavy lifting. I'm over here doing all of the work. That bitch ain't doing nothing but sitting at home, playing in his cooch and playing with his pussy. Now y'all figure out which one is his cat. Um, y'all figure out which one of those is his cat. Okay. Poor Puma. Poor Puma. Figure out which one is his cat, Puma. That bitch is sitting at home, farting and eating, playing in his pussy and playing in his cooch. Playing with his pussy and playing with his cooch. Figure out which one is Puma. Anyway, I'm over here doing all of the hard, heavy lifting. But y'all gonna side with Ty. See how y'all do me? I'm over here doing all the work, but y'all here for Ty. Life just ain't fair. See how they do me, y'all? I called that bastard earlier today. Shit went straight to voicemail. Anyway, so let's go to the mayor of the great city of New Orleans, Louisiana, Mayor Latoya Cantrell. As I stated, she will be reimbursing the city in excess of $30,000 for travel expenses. So her rationale, so apparently she was going about upgrading all of her travel to first class, and her rationale was because she said it was due to safety concerns she faced as a black woman and due to personal COVID precautions. Let me say that again. Mama stated that she upgraded all of her flights to first class due to safety concerns she faced as a black woman and due to personal COVID-19 precautions. Now, according to the hold on, let me get this right. Hold on, I'm trying to get the right information. Uh-huh. Okay. According to the city's official policy, a city employee for all cities employees, and this was ruled on by the city attorney. The policy is any flight upgrades must be paid for by the employee. So if you are going out of town, flying out of town, they fly you economy. They ain't tell you which airline to fly. They just said whichever airline you fly. They ain't said it had to be the cheapest, but they just said whenever you fly economy. Any upgrades to that has to be done has to be paid for by the employee, by the city employee, which includes the mayor. Monk Chip, that was Omar Epps' first role. I'm almost 1,000% sure that was Tupac's first role too. But I know Juice was Omar Epps' first acting gig, and I'm like 1,000% sure it was Tupac's first gig as well. So let me continue with this story. So here's some of the gory details. So documents obtained by WDSU show that in July, the mayor, that's July of this year, not the July of 2020, because she talking about COVID-19 and stuff. We're talking about July of this year, okay? Documents obtained by WDSU show that in July, the mayor attended events in France to promote New Orleans, and ran up flight expenses totaling $17,854.57. On the same flight, though, her security person and two other staffers flew economy because they weren't going to pay all that money to be upgrading flights. Let me say that again. Mama says she wanted first class, and she upgraded her flight in the total of $17,854.57. That was for her trip to France. Documents also show she ran up nearly $10,000 in upgrading her airfare during a trip to Switzerland the month before her trip to France. And that's $27,854.57 right there. And apparently all her other trips where she got flued out, she upgraded to first class. Because mama said, I'm concerned for my safety as a black woman. Mind you, your security detail is back in economy, but you're concerned for your safety. You got a whole security detail, but they still flying in economy. Listen. But apparently she has said, I guess I gotta pay this $30,000 back. Well, I guess you the fuck do. I'm just saying. What you mean don't do her? The the city policy is we will fly you wherever you need to go. You're gonna fly economy. We're not telling you you have to fly Spirit or Frontier. You just need to fly economy or coach. Okay? We're not paying for you to fly first class. Now, if you want to fly first class or business class, baby, you're gonna pay for those upgrades on your own. When you decided that it was an okay idea for you to upgrade your flight to Paris, or I'm not gonna say it was Paris, somewhere in France, and they say, yeah, ma'am, this is gonna be 17,000. When they said this is gonna be $17,854.57, why then didn't you say, yeah, I'm gonna pass on that? That's a lot of money. I don't believe that the constituents to which I was elected to serve would want me to spend their tax dollars just so I can have an extra blanket, free drinks, and comfortable seats with more leg room. They won't want all that. Not in the tune of $17,854.57. After you done spent damn near $10,000 a month before in upgrades flying you out to Switzerland. I'm just saying. Monk Chip, boo, you must be behind. Monk Chip just said Heath Ledger. Monk Chip must be behind. Monk Chip, I got you, but we here. We got it. Monk Chip, that's my good. That's my boo right there, Monk Chip. Monk Chip, I'm gonna be in South Carolina next weekend. I'm gonna be in Columbia, South Carolina next weekend, Monk Chip. So if you in the area, let me know, boo. Because I will be in Columbia, South Carolina next weekend. The weekend of the 14th. Hit me up with a hit me up in my email or hit me up with a DM on my Instagram or something like that because I will be in Columbia, South Carolina next weekend. All right. So that's that story. Here's a palate cleanser for you all. Where am I at with my palate? I don't even know where I left off at. Did we do him? I think we did him. I think we're on him. Here's another one for good measure. Because the last three palate cleansers are all the same person. They're not for you all. They are for me. They'll be at the end. They're not for you all. They're three of the same person. I don't care how y'all feel about him. I don't care how y'all read me about him. He's for me and not y'all. He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time. That's what Mocha and Steph taught us. So, ciao. I'm not doing this with you, Tracy. So now we have to deal and dispose of the likes of one Mr. Chester Jermaine Jennings. Life Jennings. Oh, yes. We're calling out full government names. Your mama named you Chester Jermaine Jennings. I'm going to call you Chester Jermaine Jennings. Dear God above. So let me show y'all a series of tweets from this young man. Where are we going to start off? Wait. Oh, here we go. So I saw this today. So y'all should probably know. Here's some background. So we found out over the last couple of days that after the whole Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix, that Life Jennings was like, oh, I was in jail with Jeffrey Dahmer. And he was a cellmate, or he was in jail with me, and he wanted me to sing him Pretty Brown Eyes because he heard by mint condition, because he heard me singing while I was cleaning the brailers and cleaning the floors of the balcony. And he goes on this whole thing, kind of making Jeffrey Dahmer. He tried to humanize Jeffrey Dahmer and call him, yeah, that's my little homie. My little homie. Mind you, Jeffrey Dahmer at the time was in his 30s, and you were a teenager. Because if I remember, I think Life Jennings said he went to jail at like 14 or something like that, or 14 or something like that. He was in jail. But that's your little homie. Because last time I checked, somebody that you call your homie is a good friend of yours. So, of course, he's being drugged. So, because he was getting drugged for trying to make Jeffrey Dahmer seem like he was a great guy, and he was getting drugged all over the fruited plains, he comes out and says, quote, drugs done killed and destroyed way more black families than Jeffrey Dahmer, but you're so disgusted by him for have normalized drugs in songs and videos. WTF. And of course, you know, people commence to drag him. He then said this: I see all these new people on my page are just here trolling and can't have a conversation without emotion. I love my people, but sometimes I get sick of y'all shit. Damn, I told my story on my page my way. It's easy to block me. And then he came out with this. Maybe I just said it wrong. Y'all got it. I'm about to delete my page. Y'all young cats too much for me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Life Jennings. Let me tell you something, Life Jennings. You ain't shit either. Fuck you and fuck your life. See, Life Jennings is, I equate what Life Jennings is doing to what stupid ass white people do when we tell them things like Black Lives Matter and we need to stop police from killing Black men and women across the fruited plains, and white people come back by saying, well, what about Black on Black crime? More people get killed from Black on Black crime than from police killing them. Which makes no fucking sense for the argument at hand. If we're talking about fucking police killing Black people and the fact that we should not have police killing Black people, that has nothing to do with the fact that Black on Black crime actually happens. Two different things. Two fucking different things. But when you are not rationally thinking, when the dendrites don't fire off to the synapses, or excuse me, the synapses don't fire off to the dendrites, and you have issues cognitively, you have no clue of metacognition. You have no clue fundamentally of how to rationalize and coherently make an argument. You do stupid and dumb shit like, say, stupid, dumb, idiotic shit like this. Drugs done killed and destroyed way more Black families than Jeffrey Dahmer, but you're so disgusted by him, but have normalized drugs in songs and videos. What the fuck does that have to do with the argument at hand? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What we're talking about? The whole reason people have issues with it is because we had someone who is one of the most heinous and evil serial killers in the history of this nation. And we have people, and in the aftermath of this show, I understand why the families are so upset, because you got people that are glorifying Jeffrey Dahmer, making jokes about him, have all kinds of, satire and things about what he did. But you have real families that are still alive, people still affected by the deaths, the multiple deaths. And let's be clear, we only know about 19. Those are only the ones we know about. The fact that he was praying, making a calculated effort to kill majority and to pray after Black gay men and other gay men of color, and also little boys. And the fact that people have a problem and are calling out the fact that you have to be a fucking sick, sadistic, twisted ass monster to not only kill these men and boys, but then have sex with them, because we know he was having sex with their dead bodies. He was storing their dead bodies in his house and then taking their organs and eating them. And the fact that people called it out and said that this is disgusting and people are disgusted about it, you take a problem with that? You want to celebrate? Oh, that's my homie. That's my friend. And you have a problem because people said, why the fuck is you calling somebody that's doing this to your own people? Since you want to talk about us having a problem with drugs that are killing our own people, you seem to be friends with somebody who fucking kills our own people. And you have a problem with that? And then you try to, throw us off. And you try to deflect by talking about drugs, which is nothing to do with the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer was an insidious and heinous individual. But you want to deflect and talk about, oh, more drugs. Drugs kill more black people than Jeffrey Dahmer ever could. Really? Heart disease has killed more people than Jeffrey Dahmer or drugs. Diabetes has killed more people than Jeffrey Dahmer or drugs. You didn't want to mention those. Those heart disease and diabetes didn't want no part of that. So many other diseases and so many other things have killed more black people than Jeffrey Dahmer or even drugs, which is why this whole argument is stupid and insidious. But why the fuck would I expect the likes of Life Jennings to be able to do something cognitively coherent? Because you are around here getting engaged to the likes of a fucking Carly Red. So why the fuck would I expect you are dating people like a Carly Red and getting engaged for the purpose of a fucking reality television show and expect me to take you seriously? Expect me to think that your argument is fundamentally and cognitively sound? If you don't go sit your stinking ass the fuck down somewhere, you better go sit the fuck down somewhere, Life Jennings, with your bullshit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. What you saying, Tracy? We at the black delegation offer $1 billion Kanye West. $1 billion in Kanye West, his sidekick Candace Owens, and washed up singer like that. Right. Y'all can have them. Like Jennings. Nobody is checking for you. Nobody asked you anything. Nobody's looking for you. We're not even listening to your music. We don't want any parts of you. We don't want any parts of your music. You and your Cardi Reds of the world and your non-existent music career can go somewhere and sit in a little corner and fantasize about Jeffrey Dahmer as much as you want. Why the fuck are you so vested in the goddamn Jeffrey Dahmer? You want to share to us what you and Jeffrey Dahmer had going on in jail? Because we know he likes to prey on, little kids. We know that. We know he liked to prey on young, virile, teenage black boys. And at the time when Jeffrey Dahmer was alive, you couldn't have been. And when Jeffrey Dahmer died, you had to be, 15 or 16 when he died. So you tell us, go ahead and spill your own tea, since that's what the fuck you want to do. Life Jennings, tell us the fuck what you got going on with Jeffrey Dahmer, since you want to come here and castigate the entirety of the black community. Talk about some drugs done killed more black people than Jeffrey Dahmer. Go sit your stinking ass the fuck down somewhere. I mean, you was locked in jail for 10 whole years, 10 plus years, sir. Chester Jermaine Jennings, Chester. Because your mama named you Chester, I'm going to call you Chester. Tell me what the fuck you got going on. Since you want to go down this road. Since you want us to breathe life into you and give you the time of day. Hey, Kamisha, what's good, boo? Y'all, if you're not subscribed to Kamisha Reviews, y'all go subscribe to her. She does great interviews. She's going to be interviewing the winner of this season's Big Brother. So go over there and follow her. She gets all of the big interviews. If you're not following Kamisha, go follow her. She's going to be interviewing this season's winner of Big Brother. So happy and proud for her. Anyway, back to Chester Jermaine Jennings. Life Jennings, you ain't shit. Because you did exactly what all of these other people always do, is try to deflect and change the whole argument. We over here talking about the heinous brutality and murdering and killing of a whole lot of people, and how horrible and how sick in the brain a person had to be to do that, and how awful they are, and how we should not celebrate them, how we should not fantasize who they are, how we should not give them any amount of credence. And you over here telling us, oh, that's my little homie, Jeffrey Dahmer. Fuck you and your little homie. What did he do to you for you to be calling him little homie? Like I said, Mr. Jennings, he loved to prey on teenage boys of color. Hmm. Had a romp in the hay with Mr. Dahmer in that good jail cell at 14, 15 years old. Did you? When you was serenading him with pretty brown eyes, you know I see you. Were you serenading him at night when he was laid up with you and y'all was doing all kinds of ungodly, unsightly things? Trying to tell us something, Mr. Jennings? Because you got a lot of fucking nerve. You have not had any nature of relevancy in your own industry, the music industry, for quite some time now. I guarantee you, nobody here knows that you have 7 albums out. 7 albums that went triple saran wrap. 7 albums that went quadruple brown paper bag. Several albums that went double quilted bounty paper towel. You better go sit the fuck down somewhere, Black Jenny. You better go sit your stinking ass the fuck down somewhere. You better go find you something to do with yourself and find you some. You said you deleting your Twitter, Instagram. Last time I checked, it was still up. Please go ahead and follow through with what you said. Go ahead and delete it because I noticed you deleted that post about the drug when you tried to call black people out, talking about some more black people was killed for drugs. You deleted that post and then you come back talking about something. You're going to delete your Instagram. We're waiting, please, sir. Delete the Instagram. Obviate the whole account, will you? Delete the whole account, please. Please. Lord. We care as much about your goddamn Instagram and what you got to say as we do about your fucking albums. Lord. that went quadruple wrapping paper. That went quadruple Christmas wrapping paper. Go find you something to do with yourself, Life Jennings. Go down to the Atlanta and frolic about with another piece of God's flatulence in the form of Carly Red. Y'all deserve each other. Both of you all are byproducts of God's flatulence. Go to fuck somewhere, sit the fuck down somewhere, never to be seen again. Whole ass goddamn mess. Get your fucking life in order. I think I'm done. Cause I can't believe that he really did that. Tried to hold, oh, more black people to die. Sir, we're not talking about drugs right now. Don't try to deflect from the fact that you are fantasizing, romanticizing, and trying to get us to be sympathetic to the likes of a goddamn Jeffrey Dahmer. Fuck you and fuck him. My little homie Jeffrey Dahmer. You got a problem because we got a problem, but you call him your little homie. Because last time I checked, in the black community, if somebody's your little homie, that's your little friend, that's your little buddy. You kick it with them, you hang out with them, you endorse all of their level brand of fuckery. So you okay with that? Just a mess. I be trying not to do this with these people. I mean, as we can see, like Jenny, your choicing skills and people who you have close to you is very flawed. You call it Jeffrey Dahmer, your homie, who's one of the worst serial killers in the history of this country. Then you right here getting engaged to a Carly Red who's been ran through by damn near every straight man this side of heaven. And you wanted to get engaged to her. So as we can see, your choicing skills with regard to choosing people to be around you and in your inner circle is flawed at best. Just as flawed as your horrible choicing skills, apparently, in the music that you put out into the world, because nobody's listening to it. You're a piece of shit, just like fucking Dahmer. If you feel that way, go somewhere, find you a little corner, and just go away kindly. You said you was deleting your Instagram and your other social media pages. Please, thank you. Go ahead. We're not stopping you. Please go ahead. Anyway, I'm about to get up off here, y'all. Let me put my last. See, I told y'all the last 3 palette cleansers was gonna be for me because I knew that last young man was gonna grind my gears, and so these last 3 palette cleansers are for me. They're not for y'all. It's the same guy. I got 3 pictures of him to calm me down. So I don't care if y'all like him or not. He's for me and not y'all. And don't look too close at my man. Hey, boom. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, boo. Praise God. From whom all blessings flow. Ooh. Mm. 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 Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, I needed them 3. Ooh, that was for me, y'all. Ooh, I enjoyed that. Triple wood. I'm not doing that. Ow. Hey, Tanya, boo. What's good, boo? I think one of his husband double grocery bag. His albums with triple. I'm not doing this with y'all. Life went at 14 and spent 11 years in child. Just a mess. Just a goddamn mess. We about to get up off here, y'all. Listen, I have enjoyed y'all today, okay? I have enjoyed y'all today. Listen. Y'all put some Shondos in the chat. Shondos to you and yours. Shondos in and about the chat. Shondo, Shondo, and Shondo again. Listen. As I always say. Oh yeah, don't forget, we will be I believe on Really B's platform tonight for the Queen Sugar panel. My interview with the vampire episode 2 will not come out until after it airs on Sunday. I also will be reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac. So I know those 2 shows I will be reviewing. Getting back to my reviewing. Getting back in my reviewing game. So we'll get back to that. We'll be trying to go live as much as we can, as my schedule allows. I've been live pretty good this week. You know, this is my 4th live this week. Y'all don't see me. My 4th. I've been live every day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. Y'all don't see me. What? Anybody who would like to donate to the channel, it's right here. You can donate to my Cash App right there. You have anything, any information for me, you can send it to my email and things like that. So, as I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. I thank you all for being here. Listen, y'all could be a whole lot of places, but y'all be here with me. And I am oh so grateful for all the love that you all show me that y'all are better than me, then I feel like you all should be at times. And I'm eternally grateful. So thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. I think that's all I got for now. And with that being said, as I always say before I close, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out.